Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Expanse, Season 2, Episode 7. I just got finished watching 6, and shit went down. So apparently this is when, Episode 6 is when Book 2 starts, I assume, or I think, the plot and the story for Season 2, or Book 2 starts. So the war between Earth and Mars is really ramping up. With everything that happened with the proto-molecule, I mean, we don't really know if everything is done with the proto-molecule. On Venus, it seems like maybe potentially something could still be there. The samples might still be, the sample that Naomi destroyed, which I don't think she really destroyed, judging by her look, her face, and judging by the way that she spoke to Holden before everything happened. I don't think that their sample was really destroyed, but even if it was destroyed, let's operate under the assumption that the sample that the Rocinante had was destroyed. Even so, I still would believe that there were other samples, other backup plans in place if an Arrow situation had happened, which it was obviously a planned situation, but had they planned for something to go wrong with Eros, I think that there are other samples out there. At least, if there's not samples, there are fucking creatures, proto-molecule creatures, as we've seen at the end of last episode, which I have no idea what that was, but obviously it was some type of proto-molecule being because it had the eyes, the blue eyes. So I don't know. The politics and everything revolves around this proto-molecule. So right now we know that Naomi has a sample of it. It may still exist on Venus. There are creatures on Ganymede who came to rescue Bobby, came to get Bobby. I don't know what their motive is, what their goal is. And then potentially more samples, more evidence of the proto-molecule that we haven't seen yet. I'm just speculating. My theory was that the missiles had them on there, but I don't know. I don't know how valid that theory is, but I would not be surprised if there were some fishy business going on with those 30 missiles that were aborted, but didn't actually abort and could not be tracked, could not be traced, blah, blah, blah. Predictions for this episode, I just think that this war is going to keep escalating. Fred Johnson says to Holden he needs to pick a side, and that's less dangerous than anything else. If you don't pick a side, that's extremely dangerous. Not dangerous, but there's always sides and you always need to fall on one side or the other because falling in between is not good. And Holden's whole argument is that there's no sides at all, or there shouldn't be sides at all, because everybody loses in this war. Who I think is going to come out on top? I don't know. I'm rooting for the Belters. I've always rooted for the Belters. I think that they're at a significant disadvantage and they're being used in this whole thing as bargaining chips, and they're being used as guinea pigs, and it just sucks. I want to see them get their revenge and step up against the big boys. As for Christian is super self-aware of her situation. I don't think she knows what the proto-molecule is, but she is definitely aware of what Aaron Wright is doing, and I think that her whole speech to him last episode, her iconic, incredible speech, was to maybe warn him and tell him to, admit to what he's been doing, otherwise he's going to suffer more consequences in the future. It was definitely a warning, so I don't know if he's going to take that. Aaron Wright kind of has taken a backseat for the last couple of episodes, hasn't really been initiating anything, which could be a good thing or bad thing. I don't know if he's planning something or if he's just trying to stay under the radar because of what Mao said to him. Mao doesn't really want him on his side anymore because he didn't seem like he was fully into it. Not fully into it, but Mao wants people who are truly dedicated to the cause, as seen with every proto-molecule, protogen scientist we've seen so far. They are very much for the cause. So Mao has been recruiting these incredibly loyal scientists / workers. But with that being said, I do want to get into this episode, so without further ado, let's get into episode 7.
We need to choose an appropriate Martian target in response. Christian?
We invite Mars to a peace summit.
A peace summit? Foot massages, too?
Trust me, Mars wants this worse than we do. They're not idiots.
They were the aggressors on Ganymede. So what was that?
Fear. You know why we barely avoided mutual extinction? Because the man sitting in that chair decided to talk instead of shoot. Ganymede is the worst it's ever been between our nations.
She's really calling everybody
It's
out.
time to step back.
Why didn't you ever run for office?
I like getting shit done, and I like to keep my head attached to my neck.
Your father was smart. You're smarter.
Damn.
Leave my mom alone! You leave her alone!
He's having some major flashbacks. I want to know what happened to him as a kid. I assume something, he might have gotten, like, molested or something. I don't know. But he has this fixation for kids, almost like he wants to prevent bad things from happening to them because something bad happened to him. Oh, she looks like shit.
Gunny, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but no one from your team made it. Now, you said that you were under attack.
There's aliens.
You reported shots fired along the UN line.
6 blues. They were coming right at us. Then we got jammed. I grabbed Travis and we made a line. Lieutenant Sutton, he would have picked up on it. He was on
Lieutenant Sutton was killed with 11 others on the shore.
Holy shit.
Nurse, we need a sedative.
Yes, sir.
Is she infected?
It's all right then.
I feel so bad for her. She's lost everybody.
Today there was this boy that looked at me like I was a monster. I think I scared his mother. I didn't mean to. It made me remember when I was that boy.
So somebody hurt your mother?
I lost her a long time ago. And then there was Lydia.
Who?
Just someone that looked after me.
And you loved them.
I think I did.
I loved my mother too. You want to be that real boy again, to feel how you felt before the world broke you. Stomp out those last embers and you'll be free of it. We are about to rewrite the entire story of humanity.
How, though? I wish they would explain how.
You can be a part of that too.
I will be honored to represent the belt.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Beautiful dream he has, huh? Earth and Mars at peace. Possession is 9/10 of the law, they say. But that is not the way of the belt. We say the more you share, the more your bowl will be plentiful. We must protect ourselves against this weapon. We must find out what it was.
We killed the madman who made that weapon. We've seen arrows burn up into Venus.
That's not it, though, brother.
Earth knows that the rot is coming from his house. They don't want another arrows any more than we do.
Well, some people might want
Johnson
that.
says that we are safe.
Earth and Mars have pointed those damn things at each other for over 100 years. So let's give them back.
Yes.
Returning them will show that the belt is ready to lead the peace.
But I think he is idealist, my friend. And idealism is a luxury of the inner planets. But I agree with you about the missiles.
Lotus, no, we divide them amongst the factions.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, too. Holden has the privilege of wanting peace.
Is an act of war. You, Satara, you were on Eros too. You think this is over?
She knows it's not.
that it is.
Oh, that's the pill. We haven't seen that shit in a while.
You radioed Sutton and said your team was under attack.
The egg drone. Before the blues were charging at us, Hillman spotted a stray egg drone over our position. Fucking Earth has attacked us.
I don't think that's how it went down.
They want a war. We'll give them a goddamn war.
It didn't look like they were definitively charging at them. It looked like it could have been them shooting at each other, but I don't know.
I
I would have to rewatch.
What do you want?
to know the part of the story that you and Fred Johnson left out.
We told you what we saw and what we did.
And in all your travels, you came away with nothing that could help the belt defend itself.
There wasn't time.
Now that is a story.
Hey, fearless champion of the belt. You want to paint me as one of the bad guys because I'm an Earther? Have a great time.
Let's say I believe you. I believe you. Fred Johnson is tactical. He can't think any other way. He wouldn't offer me up to the inner planets. Belters will never unify under Fred Johnson's flag. Earth will never forgive him for the past. And after the Nauvoo, his days on Tycho are numbered. Any weapon that Fred Johnson has is vulnerable.
Everyone hates Fred Johnson.
We are in this together. Otherwise, we're all lost.
How did she not mention
Get you a new suit.
the being that came up to her? The alien. Does she not
Sorry,
remember
sir.
that?
No disrespect intended.
At ease, Captain Martins.
When I marked my 2790 as none, I was serious.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not here to proselytize. You went through something pretty horrible down there. Whatever you're feeling is okay.
I'm a Marine, I'll be fine.
MCR in command is going to need your cooperation with the investigation on Ganymede, but you can speak off the record with me if you want. Tell me what really happened.
There was a stray egg drone over our position.
Now, you say it was a drone. Okay, what I want to know is why is that so important to you? Why are you so interested in it? What do you think it saw? What did you see, Bobby?
I can't remember.
Okay. It's okay.
We've come a long way since the loading docks on Sirius. Hey, Molly?
You don't get to call me that anymore, Pampa.
You're the one really running things around here. We need you back home. I don't know if it's aching bones or the constipation I'll miss more.
You've been on Sirius too long, eh? Constipated, you suck a stone to get things moving. If you see the problem, you shove that rock up your ass.
If we're going to reminisce, let's at least get a drink, huh? We will toast to Fred Johnson's secret weapon.
There were shots along the UNN line. 7 UN Marines charged your position. Is that correct?
The UN Marines, they weren't firing at us. They were shooting behind them. At him.
That's what I thought.
I was waiting.
Sergeant, what happened next?
The alien.
Continue. That's an order.
Holy shit.
He wasn't wearing a vac suit.
That's enough.
I wonder if they know. The Martians don't know anything about the protomolecule. Unless they have some type of insider.
Talking to him.
In recognition of your extraordinary service to Mars, MCRN Command has awarded you the Purple Heart.
Wow. That's deserved.
Earth and Mars are meeting for an emergency summit. In the confusion of a communications blackout, your team fired first.
Sir,
No.
Well, truth is a tricky thing, especially when
they stormed our line.
She's the only witness.
Thing was driving them
I
forward.
don't want to hear any more talk about a thing, Gunny.
Fuck that. Are you kidding?
Yes, sir.
You're the only witness from Mars and Earth. The UN has demanded your direct testimony. When you get there, you'll tell them your story. You're going to Earth.
Oh shit. That's the last place she wants to go. I don't think she's just gonna lay down and die. She's not gonna be used as a political prop. She's gonna say her piece, her true piece. Is that where the scientist was? Oh no. What?
I'm in his cell right now. He's gone. So are his guards and his data cores.
Lockdown every berth.
Docking cloud release. Buff 38C.
Overriding.
Can't do. System's locked out.
They're trying to go dark. Maintain visual.
We cannot shoot him down.
Not down. Out. Gotcha.
His little chuckle.
Seal's good. You're gonna have to force the airlock door. 3, 2, 1.
Is that Diogo?
Don't shoot, boss man.
We lost Dawes. He's got cortisol. They're gone.
No. God damn it, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna keep my recap short and sweet, as usual, because I do want to get into the next episode. I do want to go full binge mode with the rest of this season, honestly, because I have nothing better to do. I'm in quarantine, and just seems like the logical option here. What I will say is that Bobby is growing on me. I didn't really have an opinion about her at first. I knew that she was going to be like this badass type of character, but I didn't know what was going to be the catalyst in that. And I think that this whole event that happened on Ganymede and her being used as almost this political prop to prevent a war from happening between Earth and Mars, I think that's what is going to spark her badassness. I don't know, but you can see in her head she's very frustrated that she can't remember all of the events of the situation. She's having amnesia regarding it, but she does remember the creature that came up to her at the end. She does remember that they didn't fire first. Earth didn't fire first. The UN didn't fire first. They were firing behind them at something. So clearly some fishy business is going on, but nobody else cares but her. Nobody cares. They are solely focused on what is said, what statement is made about this, and how it impacts the future of the relationship between Earth and Mars. Because whoever fired first, obviously that's going to be like the first shot was fired in this war. So they don't want to be seen as the ones who fired first, and neither does the UN. But in this situation, it's not a matter of who fired first, it's a matter of what force was, like, what they were firing at, because nobody fired at each other. It was really just a matter of what was there, and nobody's gonna believe her. So I look forward to seeing her storyline, because she is going to Earth. That's like the last place that she wants to be. She is testifying. She's the only witness from all of that. Her entire team died. So it's going to be interesting to see how if she conforms to her situation and just conforms to what everybody is telling her to say and do, and just if she follows along, or if she breaks the rules a little bit and testifies what she truly saw. In terms of everything else, Anderson Dawes continues to be one of the most interesting characters to me. He's like the epitome of what I think of as a belter. And I was saying that this episode, when I think of a belter, I think of Anderson Dawes. He's very much for belter rights. We saw at the end of this episode, he kidnapped Cortazar, the scientist that was from Protogen. Diogo was in on this. Diogo helped him with all of this. It seemed like he was down to work with Fred Johnson and down for all of this to happen. But in the back of his mind, and he was telling Holden this, Fred Johnson is the person that Earth is never gonna like. Belters are never gonna like. Like, he's just never gonna be respected because of what he did and never gonna be trusted. So there's always gonna be that tension there, and that's the reason why I guess he ended up taking Cortazar from them to cripple them, gain an upper hand maybe. Anderson Dawes at the end of the day is for belter rights. I can't be mad at him or dislike his character for what he does, because I need to be realistic about every situation that goes on in this show. And if I am saying that I'm for the belters and I advocate for the belters, then I would inherently have to advocate for Anderson Dawes too, because he's the head of that. Sorry, there's a fly. Then I would inherently have to advocate for Anderson Dawes because he is the head of that. He is the face of belter rights. Every belter, at least on Sari Station, looks to him for what to do, advice, and all that. In regards to everything else, Naomi clearly has something going on there. I don't know if it's in regards to what happened with Holden and the missile that, or not the missile, the extra sample that they had that Holden wanted her to get rid of, that she said she got rid of, but I don't know if she really got rid of it. I don't know if it's in regards to that whole thing, but something clearly is going on with her there. They have been talking about extra protomolecule samples existing out there, which makes me think that, I mean, we saw the creature, but I'm talking about just other samples in general, which makes me nervous for the future because we've seen how dangerous this protomolecule can be if it gets in the wrong hands. But I'm just wondering why the creature, the protomolecule creature, didn't kill Bobby when it apparently killed everybody else. I guess it saw that she was the last survivor. There was really no hope for her, and maybe it spared her, but I don't know, maybe she's special in some type of way, but it definitely spared her. Like, no doubt it knew that she was still alive, and it decided to spare her, whatever it was. So I guess I just want some closure to that and what really went down there. The existence of a creature like that makes me excited for the future, because it's almost like the protomolecule has a physical body now, and that makes it more threatening to me, more dangerous than just this clump of energy that exists. I thought it was dangerous before, it was a monster before, but seeing it physically inside of something, it makes it scarier. So that just makes me nervous for the future. I'm going to wrap up my thoughts because I wanted to keep them short and get into the next episode. I'll talk a little bit more in my pre-episode thoughts for the next episode, which is 8. And I think there's 13 episodes this season, which is a lot. So I do want to get started on that. So yeah, without further ado, what the fuck am I saying? As always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already. And I will see you guys for episode 8. Alright, bye guys.